has there been a change in attitude? Well, not a change in attitude from Peel. Has there been a change in attitude from the council?
Through you, Chairman, I think it takes two in any sort of deal or partnership. Certainly, you know, Peel have moved, the council have moved. Both parties understand that they want things out of Wirral waters. We want brownfield development. We want brownfield development for housing, for jobs, for opportunities. Peel want to make a profit. We meet each other halfway and get what we each want, and that should be the way of working across the whole of waters. And I would like to think that we are starting to get there.
If we can, Chair, just can you fill it in? I know we had a short email exchange today, but it does relate to Peel. This special purpose company that was set up on Monday by Monday's cabinet, special purposes company to work with Peel and with others. And how does that work with or impact on the growth company?
Again, through each members were in parties in that exchange, but clearly, in order for us to enter into some background, in order for the council to enter into an agreement with Peel on the Wirral Waters 1 housing scheme, the council takes a lease after year 10 on a certain number of units across the development. In order to do that, the council is no longer a landlord. We haven't got a housing revenue account, for example. So we have to set up a special purpose vehicle. We can do that by law, the wellbeing powers to do that, the localism powers, for us to become a landlord again, basically. So it's a vehicle which will sit there until year 11. Back to Councillor Blakeley's point. That has no connection with the growth company. However, the special purpose vehicle can be used for other things as the council so wishes. So, you know, whatever comes up in terms of future opportunities, the special vehicle could be a vehicle to do things with. At the moment, we don't know what they are, but it's there to be used.
And just one last point to make, I agree with them to accept policy around development, but I will take exception to what Councillor Williams was saying about green belt. It seems he's happy to protect the green belt in his area, but happy to take it away in Seacombe.
Okay, can we move on? Chair.
Thanks. Thank you. Just like to exercise a lot of caution really in respect to Peel and its social value. The workshop report said Peel will work with local organisations and businesses to support the employment of local people. Now Peel is the majority owner and the landlord of Cllr, and they're currently in dispute because of the compulsory redundancies, looking at making 300 skilled local people redundant, and bringing in casualisation of workers. So that's, in terms of adding social value, that's the opposite direction to which we want to be going on the waters and Peel and other retailers in the area.
David and Steve.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Just a few brief comments, really. Looking round the room, I think Councillor Mitchell and I were the only ones who were involved in the planning committee. I think he was chair, I was a spokesman. When we approved the Wirral Waters, I pursued it and thought we should do it because, like Brian, I was working with Peel in Salford Keys' site, actually directing the construction of buildings that they were building there at the time. So I knew perfectly well, probably more than anybody else in the borough, that they could do the job if they would have the right incentive to do so, and if they felt they were going to make a profit. You're absolutely right, they're not going to do anything without making a profit. Since we've given them the planning approval originally, they have of course done an awful lot of remediation work down on the site, down on the Dockland area, because some of those sites couldn't have been built on. They were contaminated, they had nasty chemicals in them, they had all sorts of nasties around the place, and you cannot build on land of that nature without remediating it. And they've done a lot of that. My point all along for the last few years that Dave and I have been pursuing this regularly, I've always wanted one particular development to start, knowing that once that had started, it would act as the catalyst, as it did in Salford, the catalyst for everything else following on. There would be a domino effect, positive domino effect, with a lot more building going on. So I believe we should be celebrating and looking forward to, provided it complies with the planning committee's approvals for all the right reasons. Being on the planning committee with Steve, I hope in advance that we'll be able to find good cause for approving what they're trying to do. I can't say that in advance in that sense, but in principle, we want to try and encourage these people to get on with doing the building work, because I'm absolutely certain that once they've started on site and started doing something, it will act as what we want, which is a catalyst for other work being done on the site. That's exactly what happened at Salford, and I can see it happening again here. So it's got my positive support, subject to obviously the codicils that we have to ensure that it is approved by the planning committee for all the right reasons and doesn't have to be rejected for spurious reasons or for genuine reasons that are not appropriate. And I'm sure I'm not compromising myself by saying that. Obviously I will keep my eyes open and go into that meeting with an open mind in December, but I just hope that we can all rally around and support them and let them get on with it, because that's the most important thing for us to do, is to try and encourage objectively, not subjectively, but objectively, the development of Wirral waters. If it once get started, it's going to give us a benefit, a boom, and we'll be delighted that we support it. That's really all I've got to say, Chair. I think it needed to be said. Thank you.
Yeah, I've heard the leader of the council mentioned twice now, the other side. It was all about housing numbers. The pivotal issue is that the government allow us to use the lower figure revealed by the latest stats. Yeah, and I haven't heard anything from the leader of the Conservative group, who seems to have a special relationship with the government, because whenever he wants a minister to come and chastise us, he can pick up the phone and there they are on the end of the phone. I hope he has that same relationship with government ministers continuing, and would like to see some evidence of what the leader of the Conservative group's done to get that figure locked in, so we are working from a lower figure, because that would be crucial to what to do. The issue, as I understand it, about Peel is that they will be subject to the same deliverability test as anyone else who is proposing to be able to build houses on brownfield land. We didn't invent that test. That test is one set by government and will be examined in public when the local plan is developed. So we're not making things up for the sake of it. We would wish that all those houses promised would be developed, with no desire on this side, in any council that I've heard, to want to willingly move into green belt, deliberately to build, unless there are special circumstances. And to answer Chris Blakeley's point, I think that fact saving lives and building a fire station is a pretty compelling argument on the edge of green belt to make special circumstances. And that's why I didn't interrupt you, Chris. That's why the decision was made. So to go retrospectively about that and try and score political points. I thought this was a scrutiny committee where we were examining issues. It looks to me as though this workshop was valuable. I'm sorry I couldn't attend. It looks to me as though we should continue the dialogue through this committee, possibly, we can consult the chair, monitoring how the waters is going, and the dialogue and the relationship with Peel. But to try and score political points on it, I don't think it's going to be helpful to life party. So that's my contribution. But we'll look forward to some evidence of what pressure Ian Lewis has put on Conservative governments.
I totally agree. I'd just like to make a comment that I think we're now looking forward to Peel moving on. I hope that we can scrutinise it in a friendly way without scoring points on each other. I think everybody will be happy with that. Please, Chris.
I'm not trying to score points on Peel. I think Peel is doing a great job. I think the council has screwed their way. The start on planning applications at once. I've held this whole thing up. I've spent too long settling with the growth company, and I've only now realised to set up this special company to deal with Peel. Could have done that last year. It could do all these things much quicker than it is doing. It stood in the way of Peel Holdings. I don't believe Peel are solely to blame for this. I think the council has an element to blame. And I think both parties should have got together much sooner to sort it out.
Okay. but I'm just saying, from my personal point of view, I'm glad things are moving and I'm moving forward.
That's how we start.
So Dave, please.
Thank you very much, Chair. Just picking up on what Steve said, actually. What I'd like to see is that we get a regular report back in relation to what we're doing. We should also link it with the Wirral Growth Company and Beckenham Town Centre, so that we see the whole thing is actually moving together. That's the question. Well, I think that would be, whether it's a recommendation or not, but something that we should be asking for on a regular basis.
We're considering similar for the report on the work programme. But the chair's not needed.
Thanks, Chair. Yeah, again, just on what Stephen just spoke to, I don't think it's about sort of political points at all. We look back at the last full council meeting, there was no doubt in my mind that Mr. Bailey was really about to give a speech on the development potential of Wirral Waters and whether it was feasible or not, with the figures they were actually come forward with as a damage limitation exercise. So to actually now be wholeheartedly behind Wirral Waters again, when the rhetoric coming from the Labour Party during that particular full council meeting was the polar opposite, is ironic, at least at the minimum. So I don't think it's scoring political points to actually point out that all of a sudden it's the panacea again. I genuinely hope it does deliver the level of development that we're hoping. But I remember back in 2011 that it genuinely was the panacea for Councillor Phil Davis at the time. And I said on the night, all of a sudden it wasn't. And I don't think it's political point scoring, just to point that out, to be honest.
Okay, can we move forward? Can we note the contents of this report?
Agreed.
Okay? And next one is number 6, use of consultants. And we've got Liz Hammond.
Okay, delighted to be back here tonight to follow up on the report that I delivered in September. I think you may remember at the time was the irony of me being an interim, presenting an interim report for the last committee, and I explained the circumstances of my appointment at that time. So I just would like to introduce to you tonight Nicola Boardman, who is the permanent director. She started on Monday, and I'm just handing over to her this week and next week, and I leave next Thursday. So I just thought it was a useful opportunity to be able to let you see that Nicola is here and is now in post, and will be presenting in the future if we have more reports. So there were 3 questions that you asked at the last meeting. One was about the benefits or disbenefits of setting a ceiling, a cap on pay. The ability to recruit outside of the matrix system or even to come out of contract completely, and the day rates for interims and consultants. So I'll take those points in turn, if I may. So just to remind you, we've been in the contract with Matrix since 2010. We're contracted till 2021. Since 2010, we have spent £46 million with them, but that is with a saving of 6.2 million, which is 13%. So we do get a reciprocal refund on the money that we're paying them. 4.7 sets out the cost that we spent in the last 2 years, which is the same as the report before, and we talk about why we might have interims, what their use is, how they can be usefully used in council, but that it is important to keep control on that. 4.10 sets out, as in the previous report, that the more recent controls, the more rigour, the more robustness that we've put into the interim agency process, so that we can make sure that we have strong business cases for why they may be here, that they are renewed, where they are renewed, because the matrix system only allows us to put someone on the system for 3 months, where they are renewed, that there is a business case, that there is a budget, that we have the finances to pay for it. So, there is a continued focus on my officers in the council to make sure that the use is appropriate and that we are reducing the number of agencies existing interims that we have. In terms of setting a payment ceiling, there are no national rates for interims, so there's nothing that we can sort of pin our cap to in terms of, well, this would be an appropriate amount. So there, there potentially are benefits in that you would feel that you have more control over that, but obviously the converse of that is that it would be unattractive. We could become very unattractive to interims for them to come and work in Wirral, and also bearing in mind that Wirral is actually quite a difficult place for us to recruit scarce or highly professional skills too. We're not in the most accessible place, and we have got competing large cities near us which we do compete with. So whilst it's not it's not out of the realms of fantasy to be able to set a cap, I would recommend against doing that. We are obviously at liberty to say to any interim that puts the rate forward that that's not a rate they're paying, and therefore refuse to pay, and then it would be up to them whether they do come and work for us or not at a rate that we're prepared to pay. The rationale for using the matrix contract, there's a number of reasons for doing that. It allows us to bring control of expenditure through one contract, therefore to help us manage our costs. We will get the efficiency savings that we get. Also, you would find that you would be paying higher agency fees in the fees that you actually pay to the agency itself, because they would be getting any economies of scale. We would also have a much higher administration cost, because we would be handling hundreds and hundreds of invoices every month as opposed to one that's coming through, and we wouldn't have the transparency of the management information that we're able to get through this contract. But we can recruit outside of it, and I know there was some concern about certain roles of planning that we weren't able to recruit outside the matrix. We do manage to recruit 99% of all our posts through matrix, and we do go outside where they are unable to provide those roles. The first point of call, though, is that we will always try and make sure that we get an agency that does have the skills that we want to come onto the matrix contract. That would always be our first port of call. If we can't do that, if we can't achieve that, then we do raise a CRAD, and we put that in place outside of the contract. So it's, we can do it, it's not to say that we can't. In terms of terminating the contract, obviously it's the legal agreement. We would have to have due cause to be able to do that. We'd have to have a reason, and if we didn't have a reason, then we'd be in breach of contract and have severe penalties from doing that. So without having that due reason, then we are bound to that contract until 2021. In terms of the day rates, I have supplied the day rates as an appendix to the back of the report. But I thought it might be useful to actually just give you a few work examples of how that day rate actually compares to a comparable permanent post in the council. Bearing in mind that you take the salary cost, you have to put on 28% on costs on that role, and there are added benefits to being an employee, such as sickness, annual leave, which your interims don't get. So the two examples that I've given you, one is a senior management post, where the equivalent interim would be paid maybe £600 or £700 per day. If you look at, during the 6-month period, an individual having 2 weeks annual leave and perhaps 3 days sickness, and you do that comparison, at £600 a day, it is actually cheaper for the council to employ an interim, and it's slightly more expensive on £700 a day. And that replicates itself when you look at a lower graded post. So whilst I appreciate that these day rates do seem and sound excessive, when you actually look at the net cost of employing an interim against a permanent post, it's maybe not quite what it seems. So I'm just open now to any questions.
Before I take questions, thank you for that, Liz. I'm sorry I didn't catch the name of the new director.
Yeah, I'm Nicola Boardman, the new Director of Change and Ethics.
Just like to say,
Save me the last.
I'll wait till.
Kathy?
Yes, well, I don't know where to start on this really, quite eye-watering. The net spend of the 46 million with the net savings of 6.2 million. In terms of the saving, it's absolutely meaningless if 46 million is way over what we should be spending. So with the gross spend of 52 million without the 6 million savings. It says net spend 46 million, net savings, contractual rebate 6.2. So I would have inferred from that the gross spend would have been 52 with a net saving of 6.2 bringing it to 46.
No, it's 46 minus 6.2 because the way the system works is we pay them and then they give us a rebate. So we have paid them 46, they have given us back 6.2.
When we look further down at 4.7, was that 46 million minus 6 of 40 million over 8 years, which is 5 million a year? Does that include the 2016, 17 and 17, 18, 2.6 million within that 40 million net? Well, this is, you said it was over 8 years from 2010 to 2018, and in 2016, 17 and 17, 18, those 2 years is 2.6 million in interims.
Yes, it includes that because that's what we paid out. So in total we paid 46 million up to that point.
But you said we actually paid out 40 million because we got 6 million rebates. Yes. Right. So if we only paid out, I say only very loosely, almost 3 million in 2 years, that means over the previous 6 years we paid out 37 million over 6, which is like 5 million a year in interims, 6 million a year. Now, we've just looked previously at looking at budget overspend. And if you look at the eye-watering figures, because I've worked in the private sector all my life, and I have never seen figures like this before. And also some of these titles, I don't know what they mean. But I've just looked at one. Well, two actually. Children's Services Fostering Consultant Executive has been in post since the 8th of January 2018, still in post, I'm assuming, because it says NA for end date, on £750 a day, which must be equivalent 100,000, over 100,000 a year, probably no, 200,000 a year. Now, if you look at number 13, Children's Services Interim Senior Manager, 1st of September 2015 to the 27th of November 2017, which is 26 months. That person earned, over those 2 years, 2 months, £365,680, which is almost, but not quite, the budget deficit for the half year, or the forecasted budget deficit for the whole year, and that's just one person. What I don't understand is what this person, as an interim senior manager, did for 2 years, 2 months, that could be quantified to show that they earned 365,680. Can somebody tell me what that person did from the day they started to the day they finished, what their job specification was, whether they reached all their KPIs, and whether or not everybody here in this room would, to a man and woman, think that that was value for money. And that's just one person. Because I'm at a loss to see how somebody is paid by this council as an interim senior manager in children's services, and I don't know how many of them there are, but they were paid over a 2-year period £265,680. And I know you've done little rolls here showing that if they were paid over 6 months, but in actual fact most of the people on these have worked for over a year, so the 6 months in average doesn't stack up anyway.
Well, it would be.
And I don't believe anybody earning 365,680 will probably take 2 weeks or 4 weeks annual salary and not get paid. They carry on earning their £653 a day, stash it away and take their holiday afterwards, because I would if I was earning that. But I would like to know what that person actually did.
I can't answer.
Well,
you
this is the point, isn't it? Because somebody in the council should know what somebody did to earn £365,680 over 2 years, 2 months. And that's only one out of how many?
I totally understand your concern.
Well, I'm waiting for 40 million over 6 years on interims. No wonder the council's in a state. That's all I've got to say. Thank you.
I do do appreciate your concern. I do understand your point, which is why, you know, from my perspective, the rigour around how we manage these going forward is absolutely essential, because you shouldn't have an interim here for that period of time, in my opinion. You know, an interim is a much shorter term appointment, and we need to be, I agree, we need to be much smarter and more control over how long these people are here.
Thank you, Chair. And thanks, Liz, for coming back to the lines then again. You started by saying earlier on, keep control. I think this is a gravy train which is out of control. It's running away with itself. If you just look at the first page of Appendix A, and that's all we've done the figures on, and you look at, you know, number 1, in here 13 months, and the day rate of 360 is best part of £94,000 a year. Number 2, in here, 18 months, £675 a day. That's £176,000 a year, at 260 days a year. Number 3, 10 months, £130,000 a year. Number 4, £166,000 a year. Number 5, interim senior manager. In here, 2 years. It was here 2 years, 2 months as an interim senior manager. 2 years, 2 months. Some people aren't employed that long, and they're supposed to have payroll contracts. £170,000 a year. It's eye-watering. Can we get down to 15 senior children's commissioning manager in 14 months, well, in 12 months, in £234,000 a year? These are staggering amounts of money, absolutely staggering. It's not only the amount of money they are earning, it's the amount of time they're here. 15 months, 14 months, 12 months, 18 months, 2 years. These aren't interims. These are people who are on the gravy train and taking the council taxpayers of Wirral for months. They simply are taking them for months. And to simply come with a report and ask us to note it, this is not noting. We're not going to note. Noting this report will be condoning what's going on. And at a suitable time, I'll have some work to move as a recommendation.
Steve?
Yeah, I mean, figures are large, aren't they? And when you look and believe what people understand about local authorities and then large business, those figures will be taken, will be somewhat gassed at those sort of rate wages. I think what we need from this report is what the outcomes were of that expenditure. So for example, you know, if we end up with, by the expenditure, a lot of it is in children's services, as we can see from the report, if we end up with the safest children in Britain, then no one would argue that that wasn't really well spent, or that was a reasonable task to do, and the outcome is we have the safest children in Britain, or best looked after, so on and so forth. So that's what's missing from the report, is what this money has produced the necessary outcome. I can think of a couple of examples where you have projects, and the issue about consultants and interims is fine out where you have a piece of work to do that you consider, once it's done, then you'll have a certain organisation and you put the investment up front. So I can think of a couple of projects that were involved in, you know, Mersey travel, the new trains. You know, you don't buy new trains every week, so you put a team together to complete that task. At the end of it, you end up with the best trains in the country, most accessible, blah, blah, and all the things that go with that. Then you will say, well, that was the outcome of the expenditure, and that's the result. Another example where we are looking for the best. I briefly was involved in the Wirral as chair plan when we're getting people to look at our local plan. We're hiring someone to make sure we can defend our local plan and defend the green belt as best we can. And we willingly thought the best in the game, or what we believe to be the best in the game, to do that piece of work. And the result of that is that we defended green belt to our best of our ability. And people on the Wirral will say, well, that's what we demand. So there's a bit about paying the going rate and a bit about getting an outcome. So I'm hoping, and Brian may want to come in now, for every one of these appointments, there needs to be a mini business case to say this is what they need for, this will be the outcome. And obviously justification, where I think we should have regular monitoring of it, and it sounds like that is what's happening, is where someone can't have a position where a senior director simply appoints someone to make their life easier or better, or you know, without a business case, without a delivered outcome. So that's where I'm coming from this. I guess our figures are no worse or no better than most local authorities who are very slim organisations. And unless you don't want to do anything new, then you won't be able to do anything new, because you can't keep teams for new projects. So projects like the Wirral Growth Company, who'd have thought local authorities would have had to go down that line to get income in the commercial sector through a growth company to underpin what has always been basic government grants. So there's new projects. You can't keep a team waiting. So you're going to have to build that team initially, and then the skills evolve back into the organisation. So yeah, you can plug things out the air and say eye-watering is disgusting. I'm being a bit more understanding of it, having been involved for a long period of time about what the outcomes are. And I work in the private sector. We have some of the finest brains in the world based at Port Sunlight, Unilever Research, and we bring interims in, and we bring people in on special programs, and we bring consultants in, because not all knowledge is ever in one place. So I just want to, it sounds like, by your own admission, the figures are going down, even at a time when we're doing lots of new projects. That's what you said.
Yes.
Yeah, you're saying we've been spending 5 or 6 million, now we're spending 3 million. So I would hope that that's what the executive and we as Scrutiny will be able to do if we have regular reports about some of these subjects, to see that there is control, there is justification, there is a business case, and as I say, children's services is a big investment in there. We do have to compete. We've had to compete for social workers. You know the rates have been going up. It's not quite like pop star wages, but it sounds like it to ordinary Joe Public. So we've got to make sure we get every single penny's worth out of these people. And the outcome, if the outcome is that we end up with the best children's service in the country, or one of the best, then we will all say, well, that was worth that interim investment. So it's about putting some balance into it, but monitoring and keeping a track on it is certainly something we should be doing as a Scrutiny Committee. And I welcome the full report. It will get the headlines in the paper because of the figures. And at the end of the day, we need to dig deeper in that and make sure we're getting value for money rather than some nice little headlines in the paper.
Before I come to you, Tony, do you want any comments on the subject?
I mean, just really to knowing the kind of lists I do in terms of being a member of the senior team, clearly we now have procedures in place to ensure that, as Councillor Foulkes has said, there's a clear rationale and a business case for each recruitment in this process. But also there are short-term breaks in where we reassess the need for that individual, and that's to run a regular cycle. So we don't get into this long-term position. And also many of these pieces of work are short-term pieces of work, so they will have a life and an end date, for making sure they're stuck to and adhered to. So again, for me, it's about the rationale to start off with, the end date, and the delivery of outcomes as well, which is clearly important as well, because it is about what gets delivered and the time frame. I mean, for me, coming from my area in particular, it is about those short-term bursts of work where we actually have to recruit expertise that we don't have, or we have a particular a spike in terms of particular work. And what you do, you bring somebody in to deliver that spike or that expertise in the belief that you're going to get a long-term benefit on the back of that. And that's the clear rationale, and those systems are in place.
Thank you, Chair. If you'll forgive my diatribe here, there will be a couple of questions in there as well. Welcome to Nicola. Liz, okay. Carrying on from last time, really. Well, actually, before we do, Chair, could we request the head of HR This ties into the report, by the way, to do a report to this committee, the next committee, with regards to current sickness levels and the policies that we're enacting to deal with them. Because if Liz has actually put together a table here, and one of the justifications for why we're paying X amount of money is the fact that we're actually factoring in 6 days of sickness every year. If I took 6 days of sickness every year, I think we're dull. Right? So I'd like to know what the current sickness rate is and what we're doing about it at the HR level. This is something I asked for last time I was here. In fact, okay.
Is he suggesting we sack people who've had 6 days sickness? I mean, everyone who suffered from any long term.
I'm suggesting that our sickness levels will be inflated in comparison to the private sector. That's what I'm suggesting. Council Foulkes. That's exactly what I'm suggesting, and I'm sure the figures will show that. So anyway, listen. To say that the figures are disingenuous is an understatement on that, just purely because of what I've just said. To factor in 6 days sickness, I know people who've, like Steve does, who have carried out contract work and they get X amount of per hour or per day, per week, and they will come in rain or shine, whether they are virtually dying on the feet, and especially if I was receiving £900 a day, if someone was receiving, I would, and as Councillor Hodson said as well, I wouldn't be taking 2 weeks holiday. I'd be making sure that I was here for my 3, 6, 12-month contract, and then probably hit the Bahamas for 6 months. But I just wanted to make the point that my ward is probably one of the most affluent in Wirral, and the average wage is £27,000 a year. So I make no apologies for believing that the wages within the public sector, in particular within council executive pay, is excessive in the extreme, as it is within the NHS, by the way. This is something I brought up to Secretary of State at one point as well, and you've touched on this, but it's very in what you said, the opening remarks. It is very difficult for us to put a cap in place, because ultimately what we've done, we've created an artificial market whereby the city centre, over the roads, we train them, we send people to do MSCs and A's a few years ago, straight up to Liverpool, the minute they wrote a contract for that, unsurprisingly, because they pay more money. But the reality is, it's not a real market, it's not an actual market. And the examples I cited last time was the business development manager last time I was on the council, and it was almost £50,000 a year. I'll repeat it again. It was flexi time, it was overtime payments, it was 30 days holiday a year, it was a gold-plated pension, and I was told by the head of service at that time that they couldn't find anyone. And this is how we got round to the matrix last time, because the reason was we were looking at a closed shop. We were looking at a closed shop of people who just bounce around between different councils, pushing up the price continually, and until we break that, it's going to continue. But I appreciate the reasoning behind not being able to come out of the matrix, in the fact that someone has signed up to a 2021 contract now. And I think this still needs to be reviewed going forward. But do you believe at the end of 2021, when we've got 200 staff that are here on agency work, do you not believe that it would somehow work out cheaper to actually manage those 200 staff in-house, rather than paying the extortionate levels of agency fees? And the corner phrase that Councillor used during the last council meeting, which was businesses set up to extract profit, I think was the word used. And if ever there was a cash-hungry animal, it's agencies. So I cannot believe for 1 minute that it would not make more sense to bring that in-house overall, when we've got people, as Councillor Blakeley said, on a year, 2-year contracts. That is just flushing money down the drain, giving it to the agencies.
If you mean by bringing back in-house, you're talking about fixed-term contracts, then yes, I would agree. But if you're talking about managing, i.e. not using matrix, but using numerous agencies and managing them yourself, then no, it will cost you more than what we're currently paying, because at the moment, what we get through matrix is economies of scale, so they are able to negotiate reduced rates with agencies in terms of margin that they take. We wouldn't be able to do that, because we would be using numerous agencies and they would be charging us far in excess of the percentages that we're currently paying.
Chair, would it be, is it permissible then for us to move something? I know Council believe he wants to move something on this anyway. I'll come back to you.
Thank you very much, Chair. I think the committee will be delighted now that I actually brought this and requested this and brought it to the select committee. I'd like to thank you, Liz, for having the bravery to come back again in faces, because we didn't put it through the cost last time, and we're getting the same again. You see what you walked into? Yeah. You're welcome anyway. To you. One comment that you did make in your preamble was that we have difficulty in getting people to come to the work. Do you know the answer to why? That's part of
Partly it's your geography, partly it's your reputation. So, you know, you've got a lot of children's interims in here. They're taking up a large proportion of the number of interims that we've got. That's partly due to very forest report a few years ago. And we need to bring in, desperately need to bring in specialist resources to be able to get us to a much better place. And when you've got a reputation of having bad legislative reports, very difficult for you to attract people to come and work for you.
Thank you very much for a very honest answer. A lot of stuff's already been said about the amount we are paying into people. I myself personally over 30+ years worked as a contractor, so I know what it's like to do day work and agency stuff. Tony said quite rightly, you go in with a fixed price for the job you do, you're in and out, and you get in and out as quick as possible. You're on day work, you set it up as long as you want, because you know you're going to get paid at the end of the day. And that's the big problem that I see that we've got here. Excuse my back, I have to talk to this here. And it's one of the problems that we've had in this authority for a long time. And it's breaking that mould to actually doing what we have been doing and moving forward. You see it in 7.4 where the difference is, even though we've reduced the amount of capital we're spending on these initiatives, you look at that, those two figures alone, the same people being employed in this authority was paying just under £1 million on that. That's the big problem. In relation to 4.6 and the way you explain the reason behind the cost and costings of things, can you correlate that to 9.2? Because to me, reading it is complete opposite of what you're about in relation to cost. An interim appointment does not carry pension or other cost on cost, approximately 28%. And in 9.2, and that figure will be achieved by taking salary payments with and adding on 28% on cost for pension employees. So that's both ways of looking at it. The one thing that I would like to say, I know I'm not going to get a second for anything, but I like it reported anyway, even though we are being good, that we should make a recommendation to the LDA in relation to how much insurance is costing. Because it doesn't only affect this local authority, it affects every authority in the country, and I think it needs to be looked at nationally. Because, as I said before, as somebody who worked in contracting, I know how the system works and how people work out. And the figures that we've got here and the times that we've got people here who are on day rates, which are estimated, I go to that and I was working, really needs